So here's just a summary slide for these different structures that we've been talking about: functional versus the three matrix versus projectized. And just look over this summary slide. We hit all these bullets, so make sure you're comfortable with these different bullet points here. So here are some new structures that PMI is mentioning in version 6. So organic or simple would be something that a very small company would use. Perhaps that classic mom and pop company is organic or simple. Multi-divisional is even perhaps more grandiose than functional. So for a very large company, it's dividing itself into divisions, and these divisions may divide themselves into departments and functions below that. Virtual is where on projects we have virtual teams. Team members working on the project are spread out over a fairly large geography, and that presents quite a bit of complexity, quite a bit of risk for the project manager. It's not just making running meetings more difficult because of the different time zones and needing technologies like WebEx and GoToMeeting to run those meetings, but it's people are from different backgrounds, different cultures, and it's dealing with all those types of issues and being very sensitive to those types of issues. Hybrid is composite, and that is a company who is actually a blend of the different types of structures that we were talking about earlier. One part of the company may be functional, another part of the company may be strong matrix, another part of the company may be projectized, or the company is evolving and it's changing from one structure into another. And PMO, project management organization, is just companies that have a project management organization that's defining best practices, providing training for project managers, best practices for projects, rules they want the projects to follow and such. And often they're auditing the projects to ensure that they're following those rules. So just some quick questions to probe your understanding of functional organizations versus matrix versus projectized. So of those three, in which organizational structure are projects the least important? And that would be functional. In which organizational structure are communications going to be more complex and difficult? Any of the three matrix. In which structure are we going to develop the highest departmental expertise? And that's functional. In which structure are employees most at risk late in the project life cycle? That's projectized. And last, maybe a little more difficult question, in which organizational structure is it going to be more difficult to make decisions about promotions? And that's a little tricky, but that's projectized. Why? Because in projectized, people are shifting from project to project. The team members are. Who is tracking their performance from project to project? And maybe that could slip through the cracks. Unless somebody in the PMO is doing that, it might be slipping through the cracks.